O-Level Biology 5090, Chapter 8, Human Nutrition, Part 2. First of all, we will discuss the different parts of digestive system. The different parts are mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, pancreas and liver helps in digestion. Gallbladder is also there to store the bile into it. Next, why the nutrients should be digested before they are absorbed. If they are not digested, they cannot be absorbed because the food nutrients are the macromolecules. Macromolecules, they have small surface area. So due to their size, they are unable to absorb into the bloodstream. But when these macromolecules are digested, they are broken down into their simple molecules, as for example, carbohydrates are broken down into glucose, proteins are broken down into amino acids, and fats are broken down into glycerol and fatty acids. So when they are broken down with the help of enzymes into simple molecules, they have large surface area. They have large surface area, they are smaller in size, so they can easily absorb into the bloodstream through villi. So all macromolecules should be digested before they can be absorbed into the bloodstream. Next, what is digestion? Digestion is the breakdown of large food molecules into simpler molecules with the help of enzymes or without help of enzymes. So the digestion is of two types. When digestion takes place without enzymes, that is called as physical digestion, and physical digestion can have biting, chewing, grinding, and mixing. All these are the different types of physical digestion in which the larger molecules are broken down into smaller molecules. But the other type of digestion is called as the chemical digestion, in which the enzymes are used to break the larger molecule into simple molecules. So we will discuss all types of digestion in this part. Now on screen you can see the buccal cavity, the mouth. Our gums have teeth embedded in them. Upper jaw and lower jaw both have the same types of teeth arranged in a specific manner. The front teeth are called as incisors, next canine, premolars, and molars. And you can see the tongue is also there in the mouth, and the purpose of tongue is to sense the different tastes of the food. For example, salty, bitterness, bitter taste, sweet, sour, and miscellaneous. So in this way, the taste buds are there on the tongue, taste buds. So these taste buds are of different types which can taste the different types of food. So in this way, the teeth are arranged in the upper and lower jaw, and the different types of teeth, the structure of different types of teeth are, first of all, the front teeth are incisors, and their function is to cut or down the food or to take a bite. And you can see the shape of this is. And second types of teeth are, which are next to incisors, they are canines. They are used to cut and tear the food. Canines are very sharp in carnivore animals because they depend on raw material, raw meat. So canines are very sharp in that. Third types of teeth are premolars and molars. The function of premolars and molars are grinding and crushing the food molecules. Or you can say all these four types of teeth perform physical digestion. Because they bite, they tear, they crush, they grind the food into small particles. Next, you can see on screen the structure of a tooth. You can see the teeth or tooth can be divided into two major parts. They are root, which is embedded into the gums, and crown, which the part of the tooth which we can see, which is of white color, and root is embedded into the gum. And if we see its internal structure, we can have these four parts: enamel, which gives shine to the teeth, and it is very hard. Next is dentin, which is just like bone, but it is less harder than enamel. And third part is cementum, which holds the tooth into the gum, and it gives a hardness or strength to the gum and teeth. It is also just like the bone. And inside the tooth, there is sensitivity due to the pulp, and pulp, you know, it contains the blood vessels, due to which it has a sense of pain if there is any problem in our teeth. So this is all about the structure of teeth or tooth. We will move towards the next part of digestion or digestive system, the mouth. And you know, I already told you that mechanical digestion and chemical digestion, both type of digestion takes place in the mouth. Mechanical digestion because teeth are there, which break down the larger food particles into simple molecules. So mechanical digestion takes place in the mouth, and the chemical digestion also takes place in the mouth because salivary glands are there which secretes the saliva, and saliva contain an enzyme to digest the carbohydrates rates into glucose. So these enzymes which are present in the salivary glands, they digest the uh, uh, carbohydrates or starch into glucose molecules. So in this way, you can say most of the carbohydrates are digested in the mouth. So both type of digestion takes place in the mouth, that is mechanical digestion and chemical digestion as well. Next part of the digestive system is the stomach. And in stomach, again, there is both type of digestion, mechanical and chemical. You can say the stomach muscles are very hard and tough. They help in grinding of the food particles. So mechanical digestion takes place. And secondly, chemical digestion is there because of the secretion of gastric juice from gastric glands. Gastric glands which are present in the stomach, they secrete gastric juice. And gastric juice contains HCl plus pepsin. HCl, hydrochloric acid, which makes its pH about 2. And pepsin is used to digest the proteins into peptides or amino acids. Into peptides or amino acids. So pepsin work best in the pH 2. So the different protein molecules, they always work in acidic pH, but at different acidic pH, their work it can be seen. So in this way, I would like to say the chemical digestion takes place in the stomach. That is, the gastric gland secretes gastric juice, which has HCl and pepsin. The one function of the HCl is to give uh, acidic pH for the digestion of proteins. And secondly, this HCl helps to kill the microorganisms or bacteria which enters through blood. So in this way, different types of mechanical and chemical digestion takes place in the stomach. Next part of the digestive system where the digestion takes place is small intestine. And small intestine, two major functions occur. That is digestion and absorption. And small intestine is about 6 meters long. It is about 6 meters long, and it has very, you can say, large or huge surface area, because process of absorption takes place in the small intestine. So the structure of the small intestine is mainly divided into 3 parts. They are duodenum, in which there is no digestion. You can say most of the digestion takes place in the duodenum. And duodenum, the absorption of the nutrients and water takes place in this part. And in ileum, again, the absorption of nutrients and water. So the 3 parts of the small intestine have different functions. Duodenum, where most of the digestion takes place, and other 2 parts helps in the absorption of those nutrients. After, in the small intestine, the digestion of the 3 nutrients takes place as the proteins are broken down into amino acids. Maltose is broken down, or maltose or carbohydrates you can take into glucose, and fats are broken down into glycerol and fatty acids. Because in the small intestine, the intestinal wall secretes the different types of enzymes for the digestion of these nutrients. As well as in the small intestine, the secretion of the liver, which is called as bile. Secretion of the liver, which is called as bile, is entered through bile duct, and secretion of the pancreas enter through pancreatic duct. So bile duct and pancreatic duct join together to make hepatopancreatic duct. Hepatopancreatic duct, and through a hepatopancreatic duct, the secretions of liver and pancreas are entered into the small intestine. So in the small intestine, the larger food molecules, protein or polypeptides, maltose or carbohydrates, fats or lipids, they are broken down into their simplest units as amino acids, glucose, glycerol, and fatty acids. Because these secretions, which are bile and pancreatic juice, they help on these three different types of enzymes, which we will discuss in the next slide. In the next slide, we will discuss about the secretion of the liver. I had told you in the previous, it secretes the bile, but it don't have no enzyme. It don't have enzyme, but its function is for some time it is stored in the gallbladder for temporary storage. And then it do not have an enzyme, but it helps in the emulsification of fats. What is emulsification? Emulsification is the breakdown of large molecules of fats, large fat molecules into simple droplets, into small or simple droplets. Large molecules of fats are emulsified into small droplets. So this process is called as emulsification, and emulsification is done with the help of bile. And the second function of liver is the storage of glycogen. Storage of glycogen, that is the extra glucose is stored in the liver in the form of glycogen. And the third function, the proteins are not stored in the body. So proteins are broken down or deaminated, or the process of deamination takes place in the liver. So it is another function of liver. So in this way, liver helps in the digestion of fats. That is, it pours its secretion or it sends its secretion through bile duct towards the small intestine, where the fats are emulsified, they are digested, and they are absorbed into the small intestine. Next is pancreas, leaf-like structure pancreas. Pancreas is very important and it secretes the pancreatic juice. And this pancreatic juice has three different types of enzymes: amylase, pepsin, or trypsin. Or you can say protease, lipase. So these are the three different types of enzymes. Protease digests the proteins into amino acid, amylase carbohydrates into glucose, and lipase lipids into glycerol and fatty acids. So in this way, pancreatic juice secretes the pancreatic juice has three enzymes which helps in the digestion of three different types of nutrients. Pancreatic juice secretions are sent towards the small intestine, where they help in the digestion of these three types of nutrients. So in this way, the digestion of all these nutrients is completed in the duodenum, or the first part of the small intestine. And then when digestion is completed in the small intestine, then they are absorbed into the small intestine. We will discuss in the next slide. First of all, we will discuss the large intestine, or the role of large intestine is that the large intestine, you can see on screen the different parts of the large intestine, but their major role of the large intestine to absorb water and mineral ions. It does not involve in any type of digestion or absorption of the food. Only absorption of water and mineral ions takes place in the large intestine, and the undigested materials are stored in the rectum for some time, and then they are excreted out through anus. So egestion or excretion, it takes place through large intestine. Here on screen you can see the different types, which types of enzymes. Amylase or slippery amylase, the enzyme which is secreted, and substrate is starch, which is digested into maltose, and maltose is further broken down into glucose, lipases, and the enzyme is lipase, and substrate is fats. They are broken down or they are digested in the form of fatty acids and glycerol, and proteases secretes pepsin, proteins. They are broken down into polypeptides and then in the form of amino acid. So these are the different three types of enzymes which help in the digestion of the nutrients. And here you can see how do the movement in the digestive tract takes place. That is, from when the food enters into the mouth, and then it enters into the esophagus and stomach and small intestine and large intestine. So at that time, there is a special type of movement which is called as peristalsis. Peristalsis is actually the rhythmic contraction and relaxation, of alimentary canal, in which two types of muscle, they are longitudinal muscles, longitudinal and circular muscles, which helps in the movement of food particles through the esophagus and other parts of the alimentary canal. So you can say these two types of muscles are longitudinal muscles and circular muscles. When one set of muscles contract, the other set of muscles relax. When longitudinal muscles contract, the circular muscles relax, and when circular muscles contract, the longitudinal muscles contract. So in this way, the movement of bolus or the food particles takes place in the alimentary canal. Here you can see the movement, direction of movement is in the downward. You can say this at that time when the circular muscles will contract, then what will happen? The lumen will be squeezed. Lumen will be, due to the contraction, this lumen will be squeezed, which will push the bolus in the forward direction. And in the forward direction, you can see the circular muscles are relaxing at that time, and due to which the lumen is moving in the forward direction. So in this way, the rhythmic contraction and relaxation of the alimentary canal, muscles or longitudinal and circular muscles, then food particles or the movement of the bolus is possible. Students, this is all about the part 2. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe my channel, and we will discuss in the next video the third part of this topic, human nutrition.